if I try to guide a conversation in a certain way and ask too many questions, you're gonna just give like a regular answer.
Yeah.
But if I just allow a normal conversation, let's say we're eating lunch here and we're talking like this normally, that's what I want. Just a regular conversation.
Yeah, I don't feel pressured at all. Like,
Yeah.
like we're gonna be good friends.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Like this is every podcast that I do and I leave, and it's the first time this person's in here. We're like best friends after, you know?
Good.
Like that's how it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Someone For podcast. I'm here with Hannah.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? How's it going?
I'm well. Like,
You're good?
Yeah. It took a while to be well, but I'm well. Healthy.
Yeah, this is an early morning podcast, bro. Like this, I usually don't come in here that early. We're here at like 8, 9 a.m. It's kind of early, but are you much of a morning person?
I am, but I work into the night sometimes, like late, like 12, 1, just trying to check like my feed, check like engagement.
Different shit. Yeah. For me, the morning, I used to be a morning person and it switched up on me somehow. Like, I like nights more now. Yeah. I used to wake up for, zero period for school, like in high school. It would be, what is it? Start at 7 or 7:15. It would start, right? So I would have to wake up at maybe like 6:30.
Right.
To get to school. And now I can't do that. Like now I have to like set an alarm and my eyes would still be closed for like 5 minutes after the alarm because it would just like take me too long. But I don't know why it is.
Yeah, I think biologically you change. Like, I mean, you know how babies sleep a lot? Like sleep schedule changes throughout development. Yeah. So I think that like plays a part. And also, hormones. I don't know.
Yeah, I just need
like
I need a good 8 hours every day, like 7 or 8 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. I fluctuate between times. Sometimes it's like 5, sometimes it's like 10.
10, yeah. My brother's like that. Sometimes he sleeps for like 10 on the weekends. Like if he's been studying for a test or something, after that, he'll sleep for a good 12 hours. Like,
wow.
And just like all the way through. No getting up to go to the bathroom or anything, just like 12 hours, wakes up in the afternoon.
That's funny. Okay, well, like when I sleep that long though, it feels like I wasted the day. And it's just like, oh, dang it. Then
yeah, you're a busy person.
I am. I try to be, but sometimes, when I get into those moods, like I could sleep though.
yeah. I know. We talked about like how you share a lot of your life on IG stories.
Yes.
A lot.
I think a lot. Yeah. Like it's like tap. No, I just think like Instagram is a great platform to just share content. Like you can add music and easily drop down maybe some GIFs or some font text. Like cuz they've accumulated every kind of platform. Like if you look at your explore page, that's like Pinterest. If you go into your stories, that's like Snapchat, and then IGTV is like YouTube. It's it's really kind of got all everything all in one. And it's pretty easy to use. I like the spontaneity of not having to edit everything to like you just tap and then it's like, oh, Hannah's in
and
LA.
hit record and like everything comes up and it's really easy to use for a lot of people.
Right.
I think that's like the main aspect of getting a lot of people to embrace it is the ease of use and how like that's how TikTok is too. Like the first thing you see is a video on TikTok. Like and even with Instagram, like the first thing you see is like your photos or the feed. Yeah. And so if it's like that and instead of like having to log in every time or doing anything like that, it would ruin the usability aspect of it.
Yeah, and it's like it's tailored to you kind of just through the algorithm too. I think TikTok has a better algorithm, but it's Instagram's working on that also. You know what?
But better? Do you mean the like invasive and privacy a little bit, where they track literally every aspect?
True.
I mean, what you do.
I feel like everything does that nowadays. It's like FBI agent,
I know, dude. They're listening to this right now.
Exactly.
Listening.
All the cameras. Yeah. There was a big thing that I saw, I think, like it was on the news. Like really, that's the news nowadays. It's like they're broadcasting birds aren't real. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's
so.
like, bro, the news is really like that's what they have time for.
Birds aren't real.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of believe that with NYC pigeons.
You think so?
NYC pigeons are
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
robots.
No, they're not, Shyam.
I went there in December and we were standing in line in a fucking at Natural History Museum, I think. Yeah, I think it's a Natural History Museum. And there was about 500 or so people standing in line, right?
Wow.
And there was birds literally right next to us. And I could step about, like, say this is the bird, I would step like right here and it wouldn't move. Right here.
Well, no, I think
it would not move.
They're
like,
just desensitized because there's so many people in NYC.
Maybe that's it, but
I think
they don't do it.
They're
not
different.
afraid of anybody, dude. They like stand next. They just stand on the road. Yeah, they just stand on the road. Like they know all the traffic. They know everything. Yeah. They stand up on top. They're looking at you. You know.
Love it. I love this. We're just talking about birds now. What were we talking about? Like we're talking about Instagram and why I share so much. So okay, yeah, YouTube. Like I definitely need to get on there. My content's good. What do you think about my content?
You like it? Yeah, it portrays you perfectly, like your personality and everything about you. It could, it just shows. And then if you do that on YouTube, I think it would be better because it's a longer form of what you do. Like instead of having 10-second clips of everything, you could just like maybe show a little bit more. Or I mean, I know you already show more than that, but with Instagram, it like splits it off into another story. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to tap through it and everything. With this, somebody could just like click it and sit back, relax, watch it.
Interesting perspective, because I think nowadays it's like everybody's spontaneous. Like maybe it's just everybody, but it's just me. Like I like to get it through. Like
maybe that could be a new style of like vlogging, where it's like quick shots. I know David Dobrik, he has like his videos are under 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Now
every single video he's ever done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he kind of does multiple ones per day then.
Yeah, he does like multiple. No, I think he does once a week or once a month. I don't think he does it anymore, but
it's only 4 minutes of video.
Yeah, it's only 4 minutes, and he maybe records like a week's worth of footage and then compiles it down like to the best moments in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That's what he does.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For me, it's like a story. Like you can't just do the best moments. I think that's a little filtered because social media is all about like positive energy. For me, it's like if I'm high, then I'm high. If I'm low, then I'm low. I share everything about my life. I've gotten some criticism from that, like from family and some acquaintances, friends. But the hater's gonna hate. I
mean, as long as you enjoy putting it out, that's all that matters.
I do. It's because it kind of makes me feel more transparent. I think that I'm pretty good at selling, but I don't try to sell anything. I kind of what my mission is to sell like other people's lives. Like I want them to believe in themselves so that they can do anything they want to do, because life is long and short, but
mostly short.
Mostly short.
Mostly short. I mean, we look at it as long based on other animals or how other people live, but in the grand scheme of things, fucking short as hell.
Yeah, it is. Like we think, okay, when you're looking back, it's like, wow, that just passed. Like we're finishing up college soon. You know, I feel like yesterday was high school. I still go back to my high school, but just to reminisce. But like our high schools are really picking up with the technology and the standards.
They're changing. Yeah.
I wish we had that, but keep us humble, I guess.
It's definitely changing, I think, and it's good. It's good that they invest in programs because. Kids need to learn. Like it's not good to have kids grow up in a technology and world and not experience it in school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if your world outside of school is all technology and it's and they're on YouTube like 24/7, most of these kids.
Yeah.
They're learning constant information going through them more than like most 5-year-olds probably know more than a 20-year-old in 1960.
Sure.
You know, they just learn that much information if they're on YouTube all day, right? And so if you bring part of that into a school environment where you teach them about computers, computer safety. I mean, I know I learned that in elementary school.
I did too, yeah.
Yeah, it's doing those types of things, learning how to type better, all this shit. Like it helps.
Yeah. I mean, some 5-year-olds could type on their iPads, you know?
But they're going like this. They're going
True, but at least their dexterity is getting improved at a super young age, because I remember in like the 3rd grade when we were doing like in those little pods. I don't know if your school had that, but I had like little pods, and we would all be like the computer lab. It was like the highlight of the day, and we would just be practicing typing. That was the best.
I know. The typing thing, people would just, I think it was in middle school where we had to do typing tests and really like learn how to type. They were just like program and shit that they made us do on this website, and people would just be typing all day like on that class. Yeah.
Our games would be like, was it like ABC Mouse or all those things? Like
Cool Math Kids.
Yeah.
Cool Math Kids. I remember that. Those are the clutch days. And then, do you remember Pop Tropica?
Yes,
yeah.
I love that. I love that game.
I played that pretty much every time we went to the computer lab in elementary school. I would be on there. Yeah, and the teachers, like, you would just have to switch tabs. They wouldn't know what the fuck you were doing. Like, they would be in the front, and I would always choose the back computer and just do my shit on there.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'd be just doing the same thing, but I'm kind of a slow learner. Like I gotta just, and it's kind of a goody two shoes. I just did what I had to do. But I mean, Pop Tropica days. Yeah. They were fun.
Yeah.
Club Penguin.
Yeah, that's also a classic. Yeah. They don't make games like that anymore. Like they don't
they don't. It's sad.
I think the gaming, especially on mobile, just went downhill. Like there used to be Temple Run. There used to be Subway Surfer.
Right.
Like all these great games like Jetpack Joyride.
Yes.
Like those were A-list games, you know?
Those are time wasters for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think people still play that though.
True. Yeah. I've actually seen somebody play it like a couple days ago, a random person. But is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? Like, I think we need to invest in maybe game development in terms of like teaching people how to make games, like little kids how to make games, or
that would be dope.
Just reading. I feel like our literacy in America is just it's going down.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
You feel that?
Yeah, I mean, you talked about like how they're absorbing technology, but that's more of like that's not activating the brain of just like critical thinking. I think it's more of like absorbing. It's more passive.
Yeah, definitely. How do you think they should implement the critical thinking aspect?
I think trying a lot of things, like the countries that have the best education system, which is like the Nordic countries.
Yeah, Finland.
They try to get their learning of more creative aspect first when they're young, and then branch out to the hard subjects, like the hardcore subjects.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's how it should be. Like the kids are super creative when they're young, like,
right?
Because they have nobody telling them, or went up to the point where they have nobody telling them exactly what to do. They're creative, but when you tell them very specific instructions on this is how it exactly has to be done, and if you don't do it, you're wrong, then, and they don't explain like why, like they just expect the result to be this, then you lose creativity. Then you get what students are now, where they just focus on grades. It's not even about learning. School isn't like, nobody goes to class
to learn anymore.
Like it's just about like, can I absorb this information and get good grades on the test and pass the class? Yeah. That's not, to me, that's not education. You know,
I think we really need to step back and say like standardized testing, is that efficient or is that really making the students grow. A lot of other countries in Europe, like they have like technical schools too. So reintroducing that is important, and stepping back also to value the human aspect, not just their intelligence in one type of field. So we have a lot of work to do. Like it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah. It starts with yourself though. Like if nobody else is gonna do this shit for you, like if you want to search for your passion and do something you love, like no teacher can give that to you.
Right.
That's not a learned ability. It's just something that you grasp and have the ideas for if you set out in that direction and experience stuff in life that gets you to that place. But that's what everybody wants, right? Like everybody wants to be happy in what they do.
Yes.
Everybody wants to live a good life, do what they want to do with who they want, when they want, how they want. That's what everybody wants. So if that's the goal for you, you just have to go in that direction, whatever it is. Like for me, I like creating, and I found that through, I told you earlier, graphic design. Like that's the first thing that inspired me. I don't know how, like I ended up in that room. I took that class because I had some idea of like, okay, what's graphic design? That's why I took it. Like there's nothing, it's not like a deep, profound thing that I had to take this class. It was just, let me try it.
Yeah. Trying things, going back to high school. Like I wish I took those classes, because now it's like I don't have those skills and I'm trying to be an editor or like a designer too. It's like now I have to hire people to do that for me. But trying stuff during high school is such a huge thing. And if we're pushing like AP credits, or you're supposed to take this to look good for colleges, that makes you a cookie cutter type of person. And then we lose our American culture, like the culture of creation, I think. And
freedom.
Yeah. Like that, and freedom
to decide what path to go towards. Like it shouldn't be decided by what's needed for the economy to do better. Like it should be decided by the individual and what their desire is in life to pursue. Because if that individual chooses what everybody else says, they're not going to do as well. They're not going to work as hard.
Yes.
And if they don't work as hard, they're miserable. That's going to be a detriment. What if they, end up, I don't know, killing somebody because they're in such bad of a depression. But if they choose the path that they actually love and that they work hard in because they love it, then they have employees, and now they're able to hire people, create jobs like that. That's better for the economy.
Yeah,
right? Like
I agree.
Creating shit and whatever it is. If you want to be a chef, like there's so much shit. Like it's insane amount of opportunities.
Well, I think there are multiple factors going into this. Like there's a social expectation of, and that like transfers into maybe your self-esteem.
Yeah.
Like, can I really even do this? And then startup capital too. Like not everybody's born into that. Like you have to work maybe 5 times as hard as a person who had that opportunity from the get-go,
Yeah.
And then just believing in yourself. Like there's society, what you believe in, the resources that you have, like mentors too. So it's a huge and like complicated thing. Like I know like we all want to say like, oh, follow your passion, but like realistically, you have to be realistic too. But it's a weight kind of thing.
I think anybody could do it if their purpose for doing it outweighs everything else.
Yes, you have to really like be steadfast.
Yeah.
Like if you're able to, or if you're like prone to other people influencing you, or
that's what you got to work on.
Yeah,
that's what you got to work on. Like whenever it's the fear and doubt never is supposed to like slow you down. It's not meant to stop you in your tracks. It's always meant to show you where your work lies. If you're afraid of other people's opinions, that's where your work lies.
Yeah.
That's where you had to put in work mentally on how can I get past this fear?
That's
what it is. It's showing you. If you didn't have fear, it wouldn't show you what you needed to work on. Like what is it? Because where you want to be is peace. That's where you want.
Yes, facts.
And if you can't have peace, and that's in any situation, that means
you're fearful.
You're fearful, or even like you're not thinking of that situation in terms of peace. You're thinking of it in a lower way, and you could change that. You could just change the thought.
Yeah,
change it.
And that's just something you got to work on.
Yeah.
Like, because even when you're like, let's just say you're fearful now, but if you didn't have that skill of saying, hey, this is just anxiety talking, then you're just going to be anxious.
Yeah.
You don't have that skill. But if you do have that skill to say like, yo, like chill, like that's not realistic, or that's not what everybody else is thinking. That's just you.
Yeah.
So that's something that you have to develop, and that takes time.
Yeah. And I think everybody has the capacity to do it. Like there's not one person in this world that can't be mindful and aware and have critical thoughts about themselves and focus on their happiness and understand the difference between negative thoughts and positive thoughts. Like it's all there. Like the knowledge is there. The information is there. It's if you go out and looking for it. You could either sit there and just say, well, this is my life. This is what I do. This is the circumstance that my parents did this.
Yeah, like trauma.
Like, yeah. And be a product of your circumstance. Okay, or you could stand up for yourself and realize you are in charge of your whatever you do in your life. You are in charge of where this takes you, and you are in charge of how you look at the past.
Right.
You could look at it as something that's meant to derail me and make me feel upset, or you could let it empower you. I had to go through that to become the person I am. I had to do all those things. So now I could be a positive light to somebody else. Like that, it's a way of looking at things that gets you to that place. And I'm telling you, every successful person in the world has gone through the most horrible shit. Like it might not be on the scale of everybody in the world, but everybody's gone through problems. Everybody's gone through all types of different situations. But the only thing that's different about them is that they looked at it from a positive way, no matter what, and just kept going down their path. Right? Like that's all you could do. You only have 100 years. What else are you gonna do here?
Yeah, that's a good perspective. I think you're right with successful people versus average people or miserable people is that they dwell on their past or their present situation in something in a way that they can't fix it. Yeah. It's like, no, every day you have literally every single day you have a chance to change the direction and the projection or the trajectory of your life. Like that's a huge thing. Like that's a God-given thing. Yeah, like you change your life. You've got the
every
opportunity.
Human can do that. And there's this quote by Jim Rohn. He said, you can't change destination overnight, but you can change direction.
Yes.
You can't get to a 30-year place in 2 weeks. You could, but you can face that way and start going down that path. Right. It's not going to happen right away, but a change in direction is all you need. Like if you keep going in a positive way, and the only way for me personally, like the direction I face is happiness.
Okay.
That's like Gary V. I don't know if you, Gary V.
Gary.
He says,
Gary.
Happiness should be your North Star.
Okay.
So always, that's how I live is my happiness is the only thing that I follow.
That's good.
And everything else is just blocked out because I know that if I just trust in my feeling about myself and my intuition, it'll get me to a better place.
Right.
You know, if you doubt that, then you might fall into the cracks of what other people think, and then you're not kind of grounded. You don't have no anchor to go towards. Like everybody needs a direction, and some people just get influenced in the wrong one.
Yeah, and I mean, directions change over life, but with that North Star, then you can still. There's multiple ways to get to happiness, right? You can always pivot in a bad direction or good direction, but that's life. You just have, there are bumps and there's are hills. Like, you just got to keep on going with it. I think success looks differently for everybody else. Each person has their own viewpoint for it. But the common denominators I've found, and I've spoke about this yesterday on my story.
Yeah, I saw that.
Is discipline and consistency. Like, wake up every day and try to prove yourself. And that's something I learned from my closest friend and also one of my teachers. Like, they said the same thing. Like, just show up. Try.
Yeah. Discipline, especially a lot of people, I think they just need something that makes them like excited to be disciplined. Like, if you tell any random kid that like hates school and you tell them to go write an essay, they're not going to be disciplined at it.
Yeah.
Because they don't like it. I don't know why. Like, why does some people like something and why don't other people, or why do other people like it?
It's just,
I don't know.
I think it's the way that they're raised and just the environment that they happen to be in. Not everybody has,
but even like two siblings grown in the same house, one could like chicken, one could like broccoli, and
it's just it's just like itty bitty things. Like, you're not always in the same grade, you're not getting the same teachers, you're not in the same clubs because everybody's interests are different. Right. So it's like,
and that's a good thing.
I mean, that is a good thing, but just like, our lives are influenced by so many things, and also genetics too. It's truly how your brain's wired, or how your health affects your life too. It's all these factors.
Yeah, it definitely affects it.
But like, you still, that's not an excuse. Right.
Yeah. It's an excuse if you tell yourself that. Right. Like, it will affect you if you believe it affects you. But if you don't let it, and that's a decision. Like, it's all choices. This is a choice to be positive. This is a choice to be negative. Like, but the thing is, it's easy to be negative. Right. It doesn't take effort to be negative. Like, it doesn't take effort to grow weeds.
It's like a natural thing to complain. It's to shut down.
Yeah. It's easy to do that. Yeah. And the more, if you keep going down that path, it's only going to bring more suffering. It never gets better just complaining and fucking whining and shit. Like,
I mean, you have to have your moments of like, of like, man, the day sucks. That's what I say on my stories. Like, hey, bro, I'm tired today. But you just gotta let it out, emotions and stuff. Like, you just
there's
gotta
ebbs and flows. Like, I'm not saying like once you choose a direction, it's gonna be like this, like an exponential like shift in everything you do. It's like, no, it's like you're gonna go through hell and then you're gonna go up and then you're gonna go through hell again, like go all the way down, bedrock, and then come back all the way up. Yeah. That's how it is. That's how life is.
Steph, I've been there, man. I've been there. Depression, the highs and the lows, the anxiety, mania, all of that.
Yeah. So. What's the biggest thing that helped you during that time? Like music or?
As corny as it sounds, religion. I think I got saved and I also got tricked. I think good and evil is definitely real. Like, we could have a whole conversation about that. Yeah. Like, God saved me. The saints have saved me. I'm Catholic, so just like, I believe in all of it, And good and evil, that's simply put, good and evil exists, and we're tempted like every day to just die, like tempted to die in our dreams, die in reality. It's everything. And we're also gifted, like, to end in a positive note about this conversation, like, we're gifted so many ways. We get signs of like, hey, like, when you said graphic design, like, that's your stuff. Like, that's your niche, what you like to do, create stuff in a digital manner. And that is an intuition kind of thing. Like, that is a blessing to, like, you have that discernment. And some people get that later in life just because they need to learn something, like, before that they could have that epiphany. So
yeah, definitely. Like, that.
What about you? Have you had your highs and your lows?
Yeah, pretty much on a monthly, weekly basis.
Facts.
Highs and lows, you know. It's not like a complete stretch where it's high or a complete stretch where it's really low. It's up and down of both. But with it all, like I listen to a lot of speakers and listen to people like Wayne Dyer or Jim Rohn or Les Brown. Like these are speakers. You could call them motivational, but it's not really motivation to me. It's a way of life of how they're looking at it. And yeah, that's what's really helped me, because I think the biggest thing in getting out of a rut or a bad place is you got there for a reason. You got there because the momentum shifted. The energy momentum shifted from being like okay and being normal to starting to have negative thoughts.
Right.
And the more you think of the same thoughts over and over again, it just puts you more and more in that place.
Oh yeah, neurochemistry. Like it's the downward spiral is good, and then the positive spirals downward spiral is bad, and then the good spirals are good. Yeah. So neurochemistry, or neuroplasticity, that's the better word. Like your brain can mold itself physically, chemically, functionally. That's what I looked it up the other day to post. Like if you repetitively say you're bad at something, or it's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. I learned that in the communication, but it's self-talk.
I call it self-image. Like there's a mirror of yourself in your mind. Like,
oh, interesting.
And that's the way you look at yourself, right? And that mirror can change depending on your thoughts of yourself. Like if you keep on having, let's say, I'm allergic to like this certain food, even though you might not be. Like you just say you're allergic, right?
Yeah.
And you will get sick because you believe in it so much. Like even if you're not really allergic, now your mind is focused on, oh, I'm gonna get a really bad stomach ache.
Yeah.
And it might not even be because of the food, but just feeling it, just thinking about it gets you in that place.
Right.
Right. I mean, there's like the placebo effect, right? That's been studied a billion times, where they would have, I think, instead of giving them an actual pill of medicine, it would just be a sugar pill. But they would tell them that this is going to cure your anxiety. This is going to cure it. Like just take it.
It's a mental thing, right? For sure.
And then they take it and it's just a sugar pill. But now they say like, oh, I feel so much better. You know, like that. It's just
deaf.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is because things are hard, right? In life,
it's hard.
I trick myself. I've done that so many times. I've said that to multiple people too. Like, I don't like doing this, but I trick myself into liking it. So it's like, I don't know, washing the dishes or something. It's like, if you say like, oh my gosh, I'm excited to wash the dishes. Like you train yourself to do the things that you don't like by the placebo effect.
Reprogramming your mind, really. Yeah. And that's, you could do that. I don't know how many times, but like if you do that consistently, now that's the new program that you've built.
Right.
Like, so now that's the quickest connection your brain has. So like when you see the dishes, you don't feel sad. Like maybe if it's, if you just walk in, your brain just triggers to that side of the brain and you're happy to just go and do it.
Right.
You know? But if you had to do it consistently, right? If you do that once and then you're back on your old shit, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like this is
consistency.
This is constant focus on what you want rather than what you don't want.
Right.
That's what it takes. And that's a hard skill to develop. It takes will, it takes courage, it takes strength, like takes everything you have to get there.
To be consistent. Yeah. To be disciplined. For me, I gamify stuff. Like
gamify.
Yeah. I just like make everything a game. I think later on, like for school, like because schoolwork is really hard for me to do. I think I'm gonna just be like, okay, point system. Like, okay, if you do these things, then you get this many points, and then at the end, then you can cash them out. Because like I've been.
And you're in nursing school, right?
Yeah.
So that's like probably a lot of memorizing and all sorts of information just going in, right?
Right. This semester, I really like it's community health, and I see myself doing a lot for the community, for laws regarding just like maybe homelessness, for after school activities, like what we talked about like earlier for the schools, like getting it into a certain digital media or arts program, having funding for that. I'm excited to get into that space.
Well, but with nursing school, like, is it tough? Is it hard? Is it easy?
Okay. This is the thing that I always say, like anybody can do nursing. It's just like, you gotta have grit. Like that stuff is scary. So the learning part is not that bad. Like I genuinely think if you're interested in the human body, and to be honest, we should, like, we all have bodies. So like, it's not that rigorous, but it's the critical thinking that makes it difficult, because you can memorize all these things, but if you don't know how to use that information with the current situation of maybe an emergency, like this is somebody's life that you have on hand. Like it's serious. Like don't screw up. But also remembering that nursing and just health, like the healthcare team is a unit, like, and it's not an individual thing.
Like, so you could ask for help and get other people's opinions and stuff like that. Cause like my cousin's a doctor, and she just went through like the whole process of doing all that med school, and like that's I don't know if you enjoy that stuff, like go all in. But to me, I have like no interest in that, but I like learning about it. I like learning about the human body. I like just go on YouTube and look at it, not to like take a test or to actually operate on a person. Cause there's something about like needles and fucking all this surgical equipment that I don't, it's not for me.
Bruh,
it's not for me.
Just like for me, the theory is fun. Like I love to learn. Don't like taking tests though. Got like a lot of anxiety about that. The actual doing stuff, it's a lot of steps. And my mind is more of a spread. It's called like a diaspora or something like that. But it's like
a big spread.
It's just a whole, it's like this, I think differently than all my classmates, I think. Like it's just, sorry.
You're good.
They think more linearly, and I think more of like, okay, let's go all the way over here and then go to there. So that is a struggle, because healthcare or just technical things like STEM, like it requires like linear stuff.
So they expect you to have it like from, if you're trying to get here, they want you to go in the path that they decide.
For more of like inpatient things, like outpatient, more, it's like more of communication based or more like out in the community type of field work. They allow that flexibility, I think, because you don't know what's going on.
In the real world, it's different, right? Like where if you're working in like ER or some shit, like random people just coming in for random shit. Like, you know?
That's more flexible too. You have to be kind of like know what's on the fly. But like once you get used to it, I think it's pretty like easy to just say like, okay, not easy, but like recognize it, and then you're saying it's patterns. That's what I've realized about like medical stuff. It's all of like recognize the signs and symptoms, and once you have that, then you go to the diagnosis, and then after you know the diagnosis, then you have to be like, okay, this is the next steps. It's like linear. So,
but shout out to the healthcare workers. Like over the past 2 years, it's been a fucking wild ride for them. You know, like during COVID, there were like videos of people and nurses and doctors staying there for like days in the hospital.
It's sad. Right? And they're putting themselves at risk. So during COVID, I was like, I'm gonna start a marathon, like, and raise money. Like, so I'm gonna start a marathon race, like, and just raise funds for people at the border, because that was a huge thing. Like the kids coming and being detained.
Oh, okay,
that was so sad. And I was like, I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to raise money for healthcare workers to have N95 masks because that was a huge supply issue too. And I mean, I'm still going to do it someday out there. But
your mind just went like all the way here and then I'll do it someday.
So I'll do it someday. Exactly.
What is it that people say? There's like corporate talk where like we'll round back to that or some shit like there's like a memes about it. Yeah.
Like we'll never
circle
do that.
We'll circle back.
Yes. No, but I've always wanted to gift healthcare workers, and a couple weeks ago I was able to do that.
Really?
Yeah, I bought some In-N-Out for local hospital.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah, like they thought it was insane though. Like they were like, "What the fudge?" Like this, because I was inpatient for that. And they're like, "Oh gosh, this is just some patient who's going like bonkers." So it got me in trouble. But yeah, I've always wanted to do it, and I did it.
Yeah, that's dope. To give back to people, that's the best feeling in the world. Like especially when you're giving not for anything in return, you're just giving because that's it.
Yes, I love doing that. Yeah, that's like with gift giving. I'm always kind of spontaneous with it. Yeah. Just because they're not expecting it. I like to I like to give gifts when they're on the toes and like, thanks, Hannah.
Just randomly.
Yes. Yeah. I love being random. Spontaneous.
Do people think you're a good gift giver? Like you give good gifts?
Well,
to
when it's planned, no. Like if it's like Christmas, then I'm like, I have to do that stuff like weeks. It's because like, I'm all or nothing. So gift giving, it's a hit or miss. Usually I would say I'm good if it's really, really well thought out, or like if it's just like a random gift. Like I got posters for my friends. And it's just, I thought of them.
What poster was it?
Oh, it's called, I want to save it because like a content thing for later. Okay. But it's these really nice fabrics. I'll show you.
Okay.
But like textured and
a poster that's textured.
It's a textured poster. Some of them are made out of different blends of paper, and they're printed, I think, in Chicago. Yeah, that's where their corporate office is. So it's in South Coast. Like they have a store there, but I got mine at near UCSD. So yeah, it's really nice paper. But that's stuff like that. It's like easy gifts, you know. But like,
so you made thoughtful. the poster like a design and then printed it and.
No. Okay, it's like you go to the store and it's like all paper. It's all stationary. It's really cool. I can't even tell you the name because I forgot the name. But it's like just simple gifts like that. It's, I think, like, dang, like that's really thoughtful. Like it doesn't even matter about the cost. It's just like you're thinking about me and I appreciate that. Usually when I go all out on gifts though, it's like all out, like just like the In-N-Out thing. It's like, did I really need to buy that? No. Did I? Yeah. Like also if I'm having a significant other, like I'm going all out. Like there's like a video on Instagram that I saw like Nick, he bought me like a yacht for my birthday. Like what am I gonna get him? A jet? It's like something like that. Like it's competing. Yeah. But what about you? Do you like, what are your hobbies? Like, what do you like to give, or how would you describe your personality? A lot of questions, of course. But.
Yeah. I don't even know what you said, but we'll just go with the giving part.
Yeah.
With gifts, I try to be, especially if I know that person, I'm pretty good. Like at gift giving, like because I pay attention. I'm an observing person.
Okay.
You know, I look and
deaf.
I'm not. Same. Even though I do this podcast, I'm not like a really, really extrovert type of person, right? And most of the time, I like to just, when there's a lot of people in a room, I'm not the one talking all the time. You know, I'm observing everything, and it's not that I'm shy. It's just that I like that more. Like I'll give my 2 cents, but I'm not here for attention. I don't need eyes on me all the time. And so, yeah, with gift giving, it depends on how well I know that person. But if I know them well, it'll be something special. Yeah.
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 You're like kind of like, oh, they like that, and then you'll put it in your notes or something.
Yeah,
or
yeah. Like I'll know.
That's cool.
Yeah, and if they need something, like if my brother like really wants a pair of headphones, like his headphones are like torn apart or some shit, new headphones, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right away, or do you wait?
Maybe I'll wait, but it depends. It depends on exactly how expensive it is, or like if it's like really expensive, like $500, that birthday, you know, like,
for sure.
You know, that's not like just a here you go type of
gift. Yeah, I get I get that too. My sister though, like, she wants to meet BTS. So I always tease her. It's like she hates when I vlog everything, because I do vlog a lot, but it's like, do you want to, I always say, do you want to meet BTS or not? Like, this is how I'm going to meet BTS, bro. And my sister could ask for anything too. It's like,
is she
you want a pony? Okay, it'll take some time, but I'll get you a pony. You know?
Is she your younger sister?
Yeah, I'm the oldest. So all my siblings are two years apart.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that BTS is fucking insane though. Like that's
no, they're stars.
Yeah. They're superstars. And how long has she been wanting to meet them for, you think?
I mean, she was Army for like 3 years now. My aunt's Army too. Okay. So it's like I gotta work my butt out.
Yeah. I know, like their fans are insane. Like on Twitter, whenever they release an album, it's like #1 trending. Yeah. Anybody's birthday, out of anybody, #1 trending.
Yeah. Dude, they're already ready for that stuff. It's they would be like months in advance ready. Yeah. So they're like, it's one person's birthday, then they have all those photo cards ready to post. It's like, happy birthday, Jimin.
Yeah. They're insane with it. That's like a strong audience, like a really strong base.
Well, it's just, I think, the novelty of the Korean culture too. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool culture.
I don't know much about it, so yeah. Have you been to Korea or like?
No, I haven't. My friends want to go to Japan, but I mean that's like a different country.
Japan's dope. I haven't been, but my dad's been a few times actually, and he says it's one of his favorite countries, and it's like really clean there. The people are friendly. I mean, he went to Tokyo, and I think it's a mega city, right? I think it's the most populous city in the world. Right?
Really? Tokyo?
Yeah, Tokyo, the most populous city. Like in the city environment, there are more people there than any other city.
Okay, by square foot.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Or I don't even know by how much. It's just a statistic, I guess.
I see.
And yeah, it's a giant city with millions of people in it, and the people are friendly, and there's literally no trash. There's no trash, and people just get along.
Cities, bro. Like it makes like a lot of American cities are dirty. I hate that. Yeah. It's just because like there's a lot of money being produced in these giant cities. Like, why can't you take care of your city? It's like
waste management.
I have called out multiple cities for their lack of pollution control.
Yeah.
Whether it's air, whether it's like on the ground, water. I'm all about that, you know, because America, I love America. I'm an American tried and true, but like we have a lot of work to do. Like it's just so like our education, our like environmental policies, our politics. It's just, we got a lot of cleaning up to do.
Yeah. And I don't know who the fuck's gonna do that though. Like I don't see any solution taking place in the government itself.
I agree.
Like the politicians, like they don't do shit, bro. They don't do anything.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's our new generation. That's also why like I promote being good. Like just be true to your country, be true to yourself, and have good intentions, because that will take you far.
Yeah. And with going back to cities, like I think New York, LA are like the two biggest cities, and they're probably the most pollutioned cities.
It's gross
in the world. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I went to Westwood, and that's like
a nicer part.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be nicer part, but they had, their trash around like nobody's business, you know? It's like, y'all paying like big money to stay here, but the streets are all cracked up.
Yeah. It's bad.
It is bad. Like, I think
Biden just put $2.3 trillion trillion with a T trillion dollar bill like for infrastructure.
Oh, really?
And stuff. So like,
well, that means the trade jobs are going to be huge.
Yeah.
And the construction companies. So yeah. If you ever want to get into that,
if you're into it, like,
I'm into a lot.
I think anybody that's into like a specific field should do it, even if it's not like the biggest thing. If you're doing, let's say you said construction is going to be a big asset, you shouldn't just do construction just because you think it's going to be big.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
just do it because you like it.
Yeah, do it because you like it.
Right.
Because if you get into it and then now they say like, oh, okay, we'll give you this contract, and now you had to build 2 buildings and you don't know like anything. Maybe I don't know what the fuck's going on. I have no desire to learn. I have no desire to tell people anything.
Oh, yeah. Well,
there's
that goes like with self-balance too. So in my podcast, me and Gabe's podcast, Ramble with Us. Yeah.
Shout out you guys I think you guys just released the podcast this week. So check it out, you know.
Super excited for everybody to listen and learn from us, because our niche is everything and anything. That's what lifestyle is. That's remember we were talking about.
That's what this podcast is.
Yeah,
literally anything. Like we've probably gone through at least 50 topics right here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why our podcast is called Ramble with Us. It's literally like, do you do that with your other episodes too? Just like talk about like 50 different topics?
Yeah, like it's never on one thing, because that'll get boring way too quickly.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it brings out who you really are. If I try to guide a conversation in a certain way and ask too many questions, you're gonna just give like a regular answer.
Yeah.
But if I just allow a normal conversation, let's say we're eating lunch here and we're talking like this normally, that's what I want. Just a regular conversation.
Yeah, I don't feel pressured at all. Like, like we're gonna be good friends.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Like, this is every podcast I do and I leave, and it's the first time this person's in here, we're like best friends after, you know?
Good.
Like, that's how it is.
Well, because I think we also have a really good mindset for our age. Like, I think we're old souls. I feel super old. And I'm just tired like all the time. Really? But it's like we have the mindset of a person who knows what they want and they're gonna get it. Like, it just takes time and hard work.
Yeah. It's a good place to be. I'm grateful for
sure
to have it at this young age, you know. And I see a lot of people that don't have it or never get it, and fuck, I don't know why. Like, it's
sad.
It's not. Maybe it was meant to be that way. Maybe it wasn't, but I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of people have really bad things happening to them, and they just don't have the resources to pick them out of that state. And we have to have some grace for them, but we also need to focus our resources and attention to it.
Yeah. That's why I like talking about this stuff on the podcast, because a lot of people have told me that they've benefited from this mindset. Like, they listen to the podcast every week.
Good.
And because I talk about this on a weekly basis, because I post clips about it on social media, that like gets them, maybe it won't like drastically shift their life in that second, but maybe they're thinking about it. That's what I want. I don't want you to believe in me.
Right.
I want you to take the idea and ponder it. I want you to think about it. I don't want you to take in the idea right away. I want you to think about the idea. Does it work for me? Does it make sense for me? I want you to come up with your own conclusion of it, and then understand it for yourself, because then it's going to like really lock in. It's going to, if I just tell you and you just accept it, that's like school. Nobody likes that shit. But if I allow you to just gain that perspective for yourself, just because of whatever I had to say, then it'll directly impact you even more.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a long time to digest things. Yeah. Like, you can listen to podcast episodes over and over, and you can still learn from it. Or like reading a book over and over. Yeah. Because life gives you experiences that shape the way you view things. So.
Yeah, I think there's a quote by Bob Proctor, I heard that when you read a book the second time over and you see something new, that something new is something that is in yourself.
Yeah, you're new.
Yeah, you're new. That's the only reason you're looking at it, because your perspective has changed.
Mm-hmm.
That same perspective that you had on the first read, or even a day after, you could read the same thing again. Yeah. But now your perspective has changed. You've been through life a little bit more. Maybe you're in a different state, different feeling of emotion. That changes it. Like there's so many different aspects that change it for you. But I think just being aware of it, being aware of those different states, that's the best place to be. If you're in a positive state or a negative state, just know that you're in those different things, you know, and then you can just take it from there. But I'm grateful to live in this time. Like, first off, like that's the biggest thing, to be in this time right now. In my opinion, it's the best time to be alive, without a doubt. Yeah. Without a doubt.
Expand on that, because I
don't think I would want to live in any other time period, not even 1,000 years ago, 10,000, 100. Like, this is the best fucking time to be alive.
Because you could do anything you want. Is that why?
I mean, it depends on like where you live, of course, but even if no matter where you're born or where you grew up or who your parents are, like this technology that has come into this world can drastically change your life. Like it,
for sure. You're big on technology, huh?
Yeah. Because I know it could empower people. Like before, let's say like in the 90s, if you wanted to do this, like have any type of show, right? You can't do this.
Right. I was thinking about that on the way here.
Like you can't just fucking have a setup like this and have it on this platform. Like the platform YouTube didn't exist. Like posting shit for free didn't exist. Like you would have to have connections. You would have to know people so that they could broadcast you, and you'd have to go into the studio. There would be producers. They would tell you what to say.
Yeah.
This how it,
lot of
we're going to have to put an ad right here and cut, go to ads, boom, like all that shit. But now anybody could do anything. You have a phone, you could record. You have a
resources
phone, you could just
to
go
learn.
on an app, download Instagram, and now you're connected to millions of people. You have accounts that you could go to, right? Like there's so much you could get on the internet. Go on YouTube, type anything, learn.
Right.
You know, that's a free resource in literally every country, except the countries that banned it.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Like China and shit. But
North Korea.
people use VPNs though, so it's chilling. Yeah, like one of my close friends is from there, and he just used a VPN. Goes on on TikTok for US. Like he's able to get the TikTok in the US.
Yeah, those countries. I could go off on a tangent on that too.
Really?
Yeah. Just like communism, and it's not even the idea of the, like, what is it called? Government or political, like I don't know the word, but I just don't like countries that violate human rights. Like that is just like, it's 2022, baby. We're like, it's like also human trafficking, like side note, but it's just like anything that violates basic freedom. And that's why America's America. Like we're talking about all of these resources that we have. And I mean, other countries have freedom, but like our independence is what a lot of countries and people look up to. And that's why
the people that came here in the 1700s are people that
from other
really
countries.
wanted freedom. Like that really fucking wanted freedom to be able to go to a place they've never been before, travel on a boat for I think 3 months, and risk and literally take whatever they can hold, right? And risk everything that they've had, right, in the past, and go to this new land that they don't know what it's like. There's no pictures of it. There's no like brochure. Here's your life ahead of you. Yeah. You know, they just went, and because they wanted freedom that bad. And you know, it turned out for the better, I guess.
I would say so.
You know, they took that decision. And even, for a long time in the 1700s, it wasn't, the British still ruled, but they would still fight like every single
true. I know
every single chance they got.
American history where it's just like this war happened and this war happened after that.
The Revolutionary War. Yeah.
We're a land of immigrants, and we also have to respect the people who are originally here. But I pride that in the fact that America is so diverse. Equity is something that we as a country need to work on, and discrimination, like, oh God, don't, bruh, like racism, bruh, again, like 2022 racism. And it's just like, why does that still exist? It's a generational thing. It's a social thing. It's a political thing. Like everything is impacted by biases, and it's sad. It's like, we should be more developed humans than that.
Yeah. And it's an individual thing. Like if, for me, I don't expect other people to think like me, right? So if they're not, if they are racist, I'm not gonna tell them that they're wrong, because when you tell somebody you're wrong, they're gonna put up a wall.
Okay.
And every time you do that, like, of course, racism is wrong for me. Like I'm not a racist person. That's not what I'm saying here. But when you try to deal with a human being, right? And let's say, I don't know, you like a specific movie, but I tell you that you're wrong. That's a wrong opinion to have. What is that going to do? That's going to make you defend your opinion even more. So when I deal with people that don't have a similar opinion, I never go off on the negative. I just share my opinions on what makes people good. And then same thing with how I said before of pondering ideas. I share all the positive things about people and how, every culture is amazing. Right. How there's all this diversity. Look at what people have done. There's all different races here. I don't even look at races. Like, I just think everybody's human, right? So if I just give that idea instead of telling them that they're wrong, they might not go on the positive side just yet. Yeah. But now they're thinking about it.
Right. You are trying to say educate people on different perspectives, especially your perspective, because you're dealing with like an intimate personal relationship when that person shares, like, I don't know, that comment of being racist. Yeah. Like, you're trying to go about it of, like, if you're trying to convince somebody to do it, give them your evidence, don't berate them.
Yeah. Your opinion of it, because I mean, there's this, I don't know if you know who Daryl Davis is.
I'm not familiar.
Daryl Davis is a black man who started to have good communications with people of the KKK, right? And he was trying to get them to leave, right? He never went into a conversation with the KKK member and told them everything that's wrong about the organization.
Did they end up taking a picture together?
I think so. Yeah. Like he's got multiple people, I think dozens, if not hundreds of people to leave the organization. But he never got them to leave because he told them they're wrong. He never said any negative thing about the organization at all. Yeah. People have called him all sorts of names. They've said racist slurs to him, and he just took it. He never, like, if you fight back, they're going to fight back. If you send hate, people are going to send hate. But if other people send hate and you show love, it's done.
Right. It's like a bully. It's like if you're fighting your bully with words instead of fists, or not fighting, but sharing your opinions, like, please don't hurt me. Like, it makes me sad, something like that. Or like, you shouldn't do this because it hurts my feelings. Then the bully's going to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Something like that.
Yeah. It's something I learned through reading this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's a really amazing book. One of my favorite books, if not my favorite. And I read it constantly because it talks about how humans communicate and work. Like, they're emotional and they have different opinions, and it's something that you're not taught of by most people. Like, most people don't know of this information.
Right.
Like what I just said, most people wouldn't go about it that way.
Yeah.
Not because they're not capable of it, but because they don't know. They don't know that if you send love, that everything's going to be fine, that it will literally dissolve the situation. Because I think even Martin Luther King said, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And he was right. Like, try it. Like, I'm not saying this to be like no, just saying quotes out here, just to say it, right? Yeah. This actually works. Like, try it out, and the next time you have an argument, it'll work. Like, this is like tried and true stuff that actually works in arguments, and that's why I never like arguing, because nobody can win. I don't argue at all, because the other person is going to have their opinion, but if I understand their opinion and I understand mine, why not just learn theirs and show them mine and let them decide on their own? And I don't expect them to change right away.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to get into arguments though, because a lot of people have the mindset of fight, not like what you just said. Yeah. And not educate or share.
Yeah. A lot of people have that. And you'll realize that it won't get you to a better place. Like, whenever you leave an argument and you go at it, does it ever make you feel good? Nope. That's for a reason, because the universe is telling you that's not how it's done.
Yeah. You just feel guilty or shameful or prideful, hurt, all those emotions.
Yeah. And so that's the universe telling you there's a better way. That's all it is.
Interesting perspective. I like that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things people can learn, and it all starts with your choice of wanting to learn it. I think, like,
true decision making, like every day, all day, all other way around, but
yeah, all day, every day. Yeah. What are your favorite books to read?
That's a good question, because I've been saying that all the time. There's a book club for another podcast and entrepreneurship group that I'm in. It's called the CLS Experience. CLS. It's Cultivate Living Symphony or something like that. Okay. And it's ran by Craig Siegel. He has a book club, but roundabout way, right? Yeah. I need to read more. I kind of dabbled in Rich Dad Poor Dad, or that one.
That's like one of the first financial books I read, maybe like 15 years old, 16.
Yeah. So I mean, when I took economics, like I was like, oh, assets. I was like, it made sense for the first time, because when I took it in high school, it just did not. It went over my head.
When you read the book, it made sense?
Read the book.
Or when you took a class?
I barely read the book. Like, when I took the class, then
it made sense.
It made sense.
Okay.
But no, I definitely need to get into reading, which is really bad to say. Because I agree. Reading is so important. Like, that's what, like, I'm pretty sure you said that. Like, I mean, it's knowledge that's important. It's experiences.
Yeah. Because what books are people's ideas of, it could be like self-help books, but also like just novels and shit that have a deeper meaning in it.
Right.
But it could be all those, but it's just people's ideas laid out, and they've been laid out for hundreds, if not thousands of years, of people that are just writing shit. And you could look at somebody's thoughts that, Shakespeare wrote a play, 500 years ago, right? 1500, I think. And you could read the play, and you could watch it and analyze it and learn things from it. That's possible because it was written down. And if you could understand the language, you could interpret it for yourself and gain knowledge from it.
Right.
And now we're on the place where we could do that with video, right? Like, it's not as long of a history, right? Like, the video has been around maybe like 1930s, 20s, around there. So maybe 100 years of video technology that you could look at other people's opinions on, go on YouTube, learn from there.
For me, I'm a digital learner. Like, things read to me and then I could follow for reading. And that's like the thing. Like when I'm reading, it just
so you're an audiobook
so much. Yeah, audiobook, but like also like I need to have like a special reader or something, like a little card. There's so, because I switch around. I've had that issue since I was a kid. Like I'd be like, oh, what line does it go to? You know? Okay.
So you could like have a pencil or like
a paper divider that I can go one line at a time. And just sitting still. Like sitting still, yeah. So for me, like even for video format, where we were going back about like video is a longer content. Yeah, that honestly sometimes that is like way too long for me. Like I like instant. Like I need it just like
right away.
Just right away. Instantaneous.
So you have a short attention span.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's just because like if you're rambling about something, and this is like with the news too, it's just like, bro, they're on like the same topic for about 30 minutes. Like, okay, we get everybody's opinion. I mean, we're talking about opinions now, but we're talking about different topics, right? Like in the news or like a lot of media or even radio stations, they're talking about something stupid. It's like today I listened to like, oh, like this dog has like 500 pairs of clothing. I'm like, bro, nobody cares. Like, how is that relevant? You know, like talk intellectual. Like a lot of media is just opinions.
Yeah. You gotta talk ideas.
Yeah, that's a great word. That good point to have, you know? It's just I couldn't like verbalize it, but yeah, it's just so much stupid waste of the time type of media. Like I'm more about action. Like, okay, there's a war going on right now. What are we doing? Yeah. What is the community doing? Why are we talking about the war in the sense that it's a passive point of view? It's like, well, okay, a war's going on. Are we having assemblies of people? Like, are we getting donations together? You know, what's the impact that we're going to bring to the table? Yeah. We're talking about mental health of the soldiers and stuff, but it's like, bruh, like you're just talking about other people's actions. Let's do something about it. Like those are leaders and like media, like they have so much power. Yeah. And they're just passive. I hate that. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's definitely for a reason, because it's more likely a money thing.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Just to get views.
Of course.
That's pretty much it.
It's just talk.
Yeah. Talk
makes money.
Whatever headline is the biggest that gets people to click, you know, whatever article it is, that's what they're going to post. That's how journalism has become now. And it wasn't like that before. Right. And there's still people that do it good. Like I watch this journalist called, his name's Johnny Harris. I don't know if you've heard of him. No. He used to be on Vox Media Group. He did Borders there, but now he has his own YouTube channel. Fucking one of my favorite YouTubers to watch, because his fucking animations and everything is fucking amazing. I see. Amazing storytelling. Yeah.
Storytelling is a huge thing on YouTube. I think the people who do it well succeed the most.
And he researches the fuck out of every topic.
Yeah, like, good.
This recent video he did a video about who made the most money out of the Afghan war. So like the 20-year war that just went on and that ended, he went and researched who made the most money out of this.
Like which country?
No, like which individuals made money. Wow. And a lot of them were security companies. Security companies meaning, you know, Lockheed Martin, or that's like a big military company, a private company that the US government pays billions of dollars to make weapons, right?
Are they manufactured in America or different country?
I think so.
Well, at least we're staying within the country.
Maybe. I don't even know. That's not fact checked or anything, but I'll look at it later. But but a lot of people just made money from the war.
Oh yeah, I mean dude. Everything is all about power, money, and influence, or the same thing. But like, it's sad. Yeah. Like sometimes that's what gets me down. It's like, bruh, do I really want to be in this world that's all about that do I really?
Yeah, but that's how you're thinking of it.
Yeah, and you can shift mindsets for sure. But it's
when
it's a reality.
When I see that, I never think of like that's not the first thing I think of when bad things happen. The first thing I think of is it's happening for a reason. Because if I just go to the negative all the time, it doesn't make me feel good. And I want to feel good.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I have a choice. Like people don't understand this. Like you can make a decision on whether to feel good or not.
Sure.
Like, and even if it's like, it might be called delusional, but
yes.
if you can see the situation and think of it from a different perspective that makes you feel good, why not do that?
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm not saying to block it out, never watch the news or like just say that this is fake news or it's a conspiracy theory or any of that shit. Just like change your viewpoint of it so that it does make you feel better about the world. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I view things objectively as much as I can. Like you talked about like observing the room. I'm more of a extrovert, or in some situations. Sometimes if I'm new to it, then I'm an introvert. I'm an ambivert. But like going back to viewpoints, yeah, you want to be happy, but like you also have to be realistic, but also still be happy. Like you still have to have that POV, you know?
Yeah, the POV.
You can't be oblivious to bad things. And I know you said that. Yeah.
Empathetic, compassionate. It's part of it. Like people, not everybody's doing good, but like you said, there has to be good and bad. Yeah. It's the way it is. I mean, I don't know why. You could ask me and I would say, I don't know. You know,
the devil.
Like,
For real.
There's no, you know, ask that if you ever meet the entity that created this universe, ask it, because I would like to know, you know, like it's just how it is. This universe, the yin and yang, light, dark, you know, there's a balance to it for some reason. I don't know. But to me personally, I think it's to experience everything. Like that creates an experience, positive and negative. If it was, let's say everything was all positive, right? There would be nothing. Like
it would be no fun.
It'd be no fun. Like where's the journey? Where's the ups and downs? If everything was perfect, you didn't have to do anything. Like if you had any desire right now, it would just come to you, right? Like you wanted a new phone, boom, in your hand. Yeah, it would be. What's the point? What's the drive? What's the point? Yeah, like that. You would just want to sit down all day and like that's not fun, right? So to me, that's what it creates, is an experience. And you could have a lot of different experiences. Sure. Right. Like there's a lot of there's a scale to how much experience you could have. Like it could be a really high experience, a really low experience, but take in all of them. Cause that's what you're here for. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Let's see how much we've been going at. Hour 20.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Good. Yeah. Hour 20. It's 10:30 right now. So are we good for, I know you had to go. So,
yeah. I mean, if you want to keep on going, I can for maybe like 30 more minutes, but if not, we're cool.
I mean, I wanted to talk to you about your Paris trip. I know you're going there. Yeah.
It's funny story about that. So I'm going there for a trade show. Yeah. I have been to Dallas and Atlanta for trade shows, like so you know, like the World Trade Center, how in 9/11, like what trade centers are basically manufacturers make products, and at these trade shows they showcase it. So in Paris there's one for home decor, I believe, and we're gonna go see a glass factory with this company called Canpol, and hopefully I can get some partnerships with big retailers in the States and across, you know, different countries. That's so dope.
Glass factory sounds dope. Like because I've been to a place where they make glass, and there was like I don't even know what it was for. It was in what is it called? Fuck it, forgot. What's that? Venice in Italy.
Right.
That's what. And I think they're known for glass making. It's like a small shop. It's not
artisan stuff.
Yeah, artisan. So it's not like a huge corporation, but you could go there and like get a tour of the place, and they were like making glass, and it was so cool.
I love that. Like when I went to the Getty Villa, and they had like, so vlogging everything, but like I saw the ancient glass, beautiful colors that they are mixing into this, and I'm not sure how they get the pigmentation, but they're crimping it to make the designs. And there was a video of like them holding the molten glass and just twirling it. It's really fun.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think Knott's Berry Farm has something like that too. But yeah, just like going back to like trades and passions, like bruh, like all those skills are going to manufacturers or factories. Like we're gonna lose that art, and it's sad. It's real. It's human culture.
Yeah. We should preserve it, but I mean, I don't know shit about that stuff, so who am I to say that?
Yeah, it's just like that's why I want to vlog everything, because people don't even know how things are made. Like, did you ever watch How It's Made as a kid? It's a Canadian TV show, broadcast in America. It's where they were like, I know there's how do you make a helmet, like a hockey helmet? And
I think I watched the one where it's like how on Food Network, where it showed like the food manufacturing.
Yeah, similar idea.
Yeah, like they would show like how a Tootsie Pop or a Tootsie Roll factory, and they would show like the production line and shit. Yeah, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just planning on going there to scout out new products. Like with this company, we're looking at candlesticks and candles.
Yeah, okay.
So like the ancient style. I think is it called a menorah? I'm really bad with like other cultures.
That might be like a Jewish thing.
Yeah, the Jewish like candlestick thing. Yeah. Like something like that.
How long are you there for?
Only a couple days, like 4. Okay. But like, bruh,
are you gonna
the flight dog
travel anywhere like besides, or like are you
am I gonna
go outside and experience
so
the city?
Funny, like it's like a workation or something like that. So we're only gonna work for like one day, and then like the 3 other days we're just gonna have a good time.
Is that your first time? Is this gonna be your first time?
It's gonna be my first time in Paris.
It's gonna be fun,
and in France in general. I have family there too, but they're a little farther away. I've been to other countries in Europe. Only for a short time. My mom's kind of like let's she like squeeze it in, kind of, it's like a good and a bad. It's like, I could say I've been all these places, but like, do I remember it? I'm glad I took pictures though. So that's also why I like love to take pictures and videos. It's because like my memory is shot. Like seriously,
like wait, that happened.
I got lost in the I just went to the restroom like a couple doors down, and I'm like, which side is it on? She was
standing outside like for literally probably 5 minutes.
It's like knocking on random doors too. I'm like, last minute resort, but yeah.
But I've been to Paris once, and I fucking love that city.
Yeah, you did. Okay, I'm excited because I just saw like a video about like small animals. I'm not gonna say the animal, like just running around because I hate them. They're like rodents, but
I mean that's in every city, but
true. Whatever. But that's what I'm saying.
Ratatouille,
Ratatouille in Paris. That is funny. Yeah. So basically, I like going back to like what I want to do in life. Like I want to be a serial entrepreneur. Invest in restaurants, like every industry really. Like Richard Branson, he's a serial entrepreneur, and my cousin actually introduced me to him, and like I've heard of like Virgin, but I want to emulate that, so
like be able to have choices of things to do.
So like service-based industries make a lot of money, but also I want to have my own design, like designer brand, like high ticket items, but also just like maybe like lifestyle that everybody can enjoy. And they're going to be faith-based and just really classy pieces. So a lot of high-end retailers right now, or companies, they're dominating the market. But for me, like my brands, and it takes time to build them.
I think it's LVMH, right? That's the main corporation in Paris that does like Louis Vuitton and like all those brands.
Yeah,
right?
So those brands, I think it's like, bruh, it's like super expensive for what? But I've roasted those brands, like, and hopefully
you can probably get it for cheaper, a little bit cheaper. if you go when you go to Paris, like
maybe
instead of like a $500 Gucci belt, it's like 300.
Yeah, I never see myself wearing designer because I want to be a designer. Like I joked with my friend, like it's so on brand of me to say like I could make that myself because like I've just been around like all these like wholesaler kind of like mindset, like your uncle and my uncle, and it's just like literally like I just need some startup capital and just drop ship or like like stuff like that. Yeah, but you know, I'm going back like communist countries that don't respect, you know,
creation
UN, UN violators. Like I do not play around with that stuff. Like I don't catch me like buying crappy stuff. I mean, maybe at first, but like with those countries, but like in the future, I'm partnering with countries that may need that economic stimulation in their country. Like I think it was like Brazil or Venezuela, where they're huge exporters. Like Ecuador and I think Ecuador and some other country, like we get a lot of our produce from there. So
I know there's like chocolate and stuff like that, bananas,
bananas. Yeah. So
crazy.
For me, it's just value all day, every day.
That's good. That's good to have. So hope your trip is going well though. Like
I hope I'm safe.
Tonight.
Yes.
10 hours.
10 hours, but like the flight back is like longer, but we're stopping in San Francisco, which is like
from here
cool.
to San Francisco.
No, so we're going to go straight and then we're going to go back home to San Francisco. Then
come back. Okay.
Yeah. So
10 hours on a flight, man. And then the time difference is what's bad, bro. The time difference.
Yeah, that's why. And I was about to go alone, but my aunt was like, no,
we're gonna.
Yeah.
Let me go to Paris real quick.
Well, it is a little risky, and I'll be talking about like the situation of that on my private story.
What is it? What makes it risky? I know there's like some criminal activity, but like it's not that bad.
Well, I found out yesterday that Paris is the most terrorist like attack location, but not only that, it's just like
I mean, I don't know,
other
like,
stuff
wasn't that
the
Notre Dame fucking cathedral? It was like burned down, right?
I think there was like infrastructure though.
Yeah. Hopefully they rebuilt it a little bit so that you could go inside.
Yeah, no, a lot of Catholics. I mean, the Catholic Church, so the church is basically, there's the actual church, like the physical, like Vatican, and then the church is like known as the people. And
but the Vatican's in Italy, right?
Yeah, the Vatican's in Italy, but like, nice place.
Yeah, that
place. Nice. I definitely. So I'm gonna visit Pope. Like I'm not joking. I'm gonna visit the Queen and the Pope. Yeah.
Okay.
Like it sounds like delusional, right? But it's like nah, dog.
You're gonna do it? Okay.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna donate like a certain thing with this company.
When I went in the summer, I almost didn't go in I didn't even want to go in because there was such a big line.
Oh,
like, it was like at least 2,000 people and 90-degree weather in Italy
in the summer.
Fucking like we were just drinking water. My mom just like waited in line for me and for the family, and we just like me, my dad, and my brother were just sitting like in the shade somewhere. Like,
Dang, you really put your mom through that?
Like I didn't even want to go after like 30 minutes. I was like, fuck this shit. But I ended up going. It was fucking good. Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm a museum girl. Like I love it.
And France, you're probably going to go to the Louvre, of course.
Not sure yet. You're
not going to
literally no itinerary.
The Louvre, you should probably check it out. And then that's where the Mona Lisa is. And there's a lot of modern art pieces. Like, so basically they would have like this white canvas and that's the art.
Bro, see, that's something like that. It's like, like I'm not about that life, bro.
That would be like a chair, like a wooden chair. They say don't sit.
Well, yeah, those ones they have in America. But like at the Getty, like they have like a bunch of like old style.
Yeah,
like
the Louvre is really nice. There's like a Picasso, Van Gogh, Monet, like all those famous artists, like back to back, like literally only those people, only those like top of the top, you know, like highest level artists.
That's cool.
That are famous as fuck. That's the art that they have in the museum.
Yeah, we need to have those things, like those like really popular artists back. Like somebody needs to create.
There's a Banksy.
Yeah,
that's
I was gonna say. I was thinking that too.
That's probably the most famous right now. But now it's more like NFTs and more like that shit.
That stuff kind of, it makes no sense to me. Like you're telling me that a picture of like elephants, like multiple elephants or like different shades of elephants are worth millions of dollars. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's just also like money transfer. Like it's
it's the rarity of it. They just say like it's a one of one thing, even though you could screenshot it, but it's not about the screenshot. It's about the code within that makes it one of one. That's what makes it an NFT. So that's what they're talking about, like the blockchain shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a different conversation. We won't go there because that's too much. But it's a different technology. And what I think is happening right now is this just the early stages, just like how the internet in 2000, right?
Yes.
Like that's how
we're moving to that technology.
It's
for sure.
It's a new technology, and just like the internet, where there were companies being valued at $8 billion, and they just had a website, like they just had focusright.com, boom, that's it. And they just somebody valued the company at $8 billion. They never sold any product whatsoever. They just had that website.
That value of it, assigned it. Right? Yeah, see, that's weird. So
that's gonna and then in 2000, all those .com, that bubble burst, they went out of business. But the ones that stayed, like Amazon.com, they were actually doing something. They were actually providing value, actually having books, sending them out, giving a service, So with NFTs, it's probably going to be like people are saying it's going to be with tickets. Like if you go to a concert and let's say you're an artist, and instead of giving people a regular ticket, you give them an NFT. And so that allows them to get into the arena, but also the value of that ticket. Let's say if it's like you had an NFT for Woodstock, right? Like that's a famous festival, in like the 60s, you had that ticket, right? So now that's worth a lot of money to some people.
People
right?
are so like it's a human thing.
Yeah. It's not like actually valuable. It's not gold it's not something that can be used to create anything, but it's valuable for sentimental reasons. It's valuable for somebody for something, right? And that's an NFT. And if that person sells it, right, sells that NFT, then that artist actually gets money from that too. They get like 10% or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just like a collectible thing.
Collectible,
it's like, because like, okay, like Supreme and just name brand things, like it's just the rarity of it, like the limited edition. Yeah. That's what drives people, because we're all about, I have this and you don't have it. Yeah. And that for me, it's like, bruh, I do not care. Like, yeah, okay, to be honest, like I'm going to actually use that for maybe my higher end design products, but it's like, like I know the value, my followers know the value of that. Yeah. So, and I'm really big on value. Yeah. That's good. That's good to have that, but safe travels. We'll wrap this up. I know you got to go. So, thanks for coming on. This was fucking amazing. Yeah. Loved being here. This is my actually first guest. Yeah, guest appearance. Yeah. Check out her podcast. I'll link it in the description. Sweet. And thank you everybody for listening. Peace. Thank you.